Hey, it's Chad. Welcome back to Cooking with Chad. Today we're going to make a quick and easy salsa. Now when you go to the store, normally there are two different options for salsa. There's fresh salsa and there's just canned salsa. The problem with the salsa on the shelf is that it's normally stuffed with a whole bunch of preservatives and stabilizers and it's mushy and disgusting. The problem with the fresh salsa is normally it's really expensive. So we're gonna make some salsa here at home. It's really simple, it's really quick, and we're gonna use a couple simple ingredients. I'll go over them right now and we'll get it done. Let's take a look. So now as far as ingredients go, it's really simple. We just have 42 ounces of canned tomatoes. I have some extra cherry tomatoes. We have a lime, some garlic, 2 Spanish onions. I love my salsa really spicy, so we have some jalapenos, serranos, and habaneros. We have fresh cilantro, we have table salt, and all we need to do for all of this salsa is just have 3 really important things. One is a food processor, the second is a microplane, and the third is a really sharp knife. Now the first thing that's really important is that cilantro is normally grown in dirt or sand, so it's got a whole bunch of sediment in it. What we're going to want to do is wash it off. So we're going to wash it off with some fresh water. So the best part about having a food processor is that it does most of the work for us. So really all I want to do is just take our amount of cilantro that we want to use, cut off the stems. I'm just going to put a couple fistful of cilantro right into the food processor. Same thing with the garlic. I have about 6 cloves here. I'm going to get them out of their paper wrapper and get them into the food processor. So you guys, one thing you might know about me is I love spicy food. We're going to use all of these peppers. We have 2 jalapenos, 2 serranos, and 1 habanero, and it's going to add a ton of heat. You could also use green chilies if you don't like things spicy, but want the pepper flavor in the salsa as well. Don't rub your eyes after you touch these. Next we have 2 medium-sized Spanish onions. We're going to put those in the food processor as well. If you have white onions and you want a little bit more punchy onion flavor, you can do that as well. Now here's something that's really key. We have this 1 green lime and we have a microplane, a grater, and what we want to do is we want to get all of the citrus oil out of this rind here. We want the juice inside too, but we want all the rind shredded in here because this has all the oil that has a lot of the lime flavor, the lime essence, that will add nice lime flavor to the salsa. Now you can kind of see all this good rind that just came off the lime. That's all flavor. Boom, we want to get all that in there. That's beautiful. That'll add a ton of lime flavor. So now that we have all of our dry ingredients in the food processor, super simple. All we have to do is just pop the top on, give it a few whirls. Watch out because some of the fumes that are going to come out of here are going to be really hot because we have all those peppers in there. I'm just going to pop off the top and kind of scrape down the sides a little bit to make sure that everything gets really homogeneous. We want everything to be kind of all blended in really well together. You see how that's all nice and homogeneous and small little bites? That'll be perfect inside the salsa. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have this big container here. What I'm going to do is first transfer all the stuff that we just blended right into here, and then we're going to blend the tomatoes, and then we'll add them in together and combine them. It smells amazing. You see all of our green ingredients are in here ready, and everything looks great. Now really the last piece in the star of the show is just using the tomatoes. All we're going to do is open up a big can of tomatoes, the diced tomatoes. We have fire roasted tomatoes, and we also have a box of cherry tomatoes. We're going to add those in. We're also going to squeeze the juice out of the lime. That will add the acid that's really important because the acid will help balance the sweetness of the tomatoes and the salt that we're going to add as well. Lastly, we're going to use our sharp knife, and we just have this lime. All you have to do is bisect it and squeeze it right over the top and just get all the juice that you can get out of this lime. Like I said earlier, what's really important is that the lime has all this acidic acid in it, and what it really does is, like a ceviche, it cooks the rawness out of the peppers and out of the onions and brings everything together, so it's really important to get as much juice out of the lime that you can. What's really important here, this last part, is normally where I'm pretty conservative in using salt. We want to actually use a good amount of sea salt, and what that does is that pulls out a lot of the flavor and helps bring back the balance of all the sweetness from the vegetables and the heat from the peppers as well. So let's add a lot of salt. Give this one whirl to bring together all of the tomatoes. So that's it. So we have our greens, we have our reds, and all we have to do is put them together and we're gonna have a really awesome batch of salsa. Careful doing this. Perfect. Awesome, so all we're gonna do is just mix this together until it's combined throughout. Look at this, we have almost 2 full liters of freshly homemade salsa in less than 15 minutes. It looks great, and it only costs a few dollars versus the stuff at the store, which has preservatives in it and costs a fortune. You will be so happy when you make this, trust me. All right, we have 2 liters of awesome homemade salsa. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. My only last advice is if you can put a top on this and let it sit in the refrigerator for about 24 hours, the flavors really help come together, but of course it's ready to go right now as well. So if you can make it a day ahead, try to do that. But otherwise, I'm going to enjoy this a little bit now and a little bit later. All right, thanks for joining us on Cooking with Chad. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We will see you guys later. Bye.